Today we're going to be inspired by the beautiful patterns and colors of poison dart frogs. These frogs don't have to camouflage themselves or hide from their predators. Their bright colors warn everyone that they are not safe to eat. But they are beautiful to look at and a great inspiration for our lesson. I love how they have these really dramatic, very crisp black designs on them. There's stripes, there's spots. Now these are little plastic models, so they're not as realistic, but you can see this nice organic shape, and they do have basic symmetry. We talk about that a lot. I think this green one is my favorite. It's so bright and bold and that cool design. So we're going to start by drawing our frog. We're going to look at that organic shape and that balance. And then we're going to get creative with that black pattern. I'm going to start in pencil, and that shape is really organic. It almost reminds me of like a peanut. And because it's an organic shape, we don't have to worry about it being perfect. So I'm going to think about like kind of like an egg shape or a seed. I think I will probably draw it in Sharpie just so you can see it better. So I'm going to make it kind of long and narrow. Let it kind of a little bit come to a point here because they kind of have a angled tip to them. And I'm going to think about these arms. So I'm going to come out. And then I'm going to go up. Their legs kind of do like a little zigzag here. So I'm going to kind of go up. Like that. And then I might have to give it like a little bit of a curve for like I'm going to call it a knee. Come back down. I'm going to do the inside here. And then they have one more bend, so it goes out, back in, and then out again. So I'm going to kind of give it that curve again. Like I guess that would be the ankle if it was a person. And I'm going to come back up. And then I'm going to give them these little toes. Now, I don't know how accurate these are, but all of these little models have 4 toes on the front and 3. They have kind of 4. It's like a little tiny one in here. Yeah, they all seem to have that. So it looks like 4. So I'm going to go out like this. And I can kind of make like a V. And I'm going to go out and down. Maybe I'll do the 2 outside ones, and then if there's going to be 4 there, back. And I have a short one and then like really long. Well, it's not really long, but longer. And if you go right off the edge of the page, that's okay. So I have kind of the edge there so you can see how I'm running out of room, and that's okay. So now I have this base frog. I'm going to think about these patterns, and I want to create my own pattern. It's going to be meaningful. It's not going to just be an organic pattern. Now you can't see the eyes on these guys. They're on the side. But a lot of times I just make a little bump here just for the eyes. You can make little dots for the nose. And then think about something that you're interested in. I've done paw prints. I'm going to show some examples. For this one, I'm going to be inspired by kind of like, I've got some origami paper. with waves on it. And I love this wave pattern. So I'm gonna do waves. Again, normally I would do this in pencil first, but I want you to be able to see. And their patterns aren't lines, they're nice big bold black shapes. So I'm gonna make these as nice bold shapes. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to design my frog with a pattern that's kind of a more waves are natural. But I'm going to draw a pattern on there that you wouldn't really find on a frog in nature. Something that is something I'm interested in. It could be sports, it could be food, it could be words or letters. And I'm going to make these nice bold black designs. All right, so I'm rinsing my brush. I've added some water to my watercolor paints because they start off dry until I add some water. And I can paint individual spots or I can blend sections. So I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between that. Maybe pick a spot that I like that color, and then over here, maybe I'll kind of go over a few and then transition to another color. And again, the nice thing about this is because I use permanent marker, it's not going to run, it's going to stay nice and sharp. Keep adding some water so I can kind of soften that so it goes this general nice gradual transition. Or I can pick and choose the areas, like, let's see, this is a red violet. That's a little too warm for an ocean color, but I can carefully add that. Now that I've added it, I really need to have it in a few places so it balances out. It would look funny if I only had that color in that one spot. So maybe I'll add it up here. And when I want to get into tight places like this and be careful, I'm using the tip of my brush. It gives me more control. So I can get into little tiny tight places. Let's see, maybe I'll do a couple more toes. And that looks better when I've kind of balanced it a little bit. I can always add a little. And it helps me to rotate things so I can move things around and not necessarily get my hands in it. When you're left-handed like I am, you frequently rub your hands through materials if you're not careful. So turning the paper is really helpful. All right, now I'm going to rinse off that color and I'm going to go back to some more turquoise. I really liked that turquoise. And I'm just going to keep painting until I've finished my design. This is my finished frog, and this one of course I did with watercolor, but you could choose color pencils, crayons, markers, and you can see some of the different ones I've done over the years with words, different materials, names. Really, you could do any kind of design that you're interested in for your frog.